Let's get real for a moment. We're living in a world that's obsessed with freedom. Freedom to date, freedom to hook up, freedom to be anything we want. But what if I told you that this so-called freedom is actually ruining our ability to form meaningful connections? Today we're diving deep into the false freedom of modern dating and how hookup culture is eroding intimacy. First, let's talk about what makes hookup culture so enticing. It's marketed as liberation. No strings attached, zero commitment, just pure fun. Swipe right, meet up, and forget about the rest. Sounds great, right? But here's the kicker. While it seems liberating, it's actually a trap. We've traded the depth of relationships for fleeting moments of pleasure. We've convinced ourselves that casual encounters can fill the void of genuine connection. Spoiler alert, they can't. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter: intimacy. Hookup culture breeds a superficial kind of connection. We're conditioned to keep things light, to avoid vulnerability, and to protect ourselves from hurt. But in doing so, we're missing out on the beauty of real intimacy. Intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. When we only engage on a surface level, we're denying ourselves the opportunity to truly connect with another person. We're left feeling empty, even after the thrill of a hookup. So, what happens next? We enter a vicious cycle. Hookup after hookup, we crave something deeper, yet we refuse to invest the time and effort needed to build that connection. We bounce from one person to another, but each interaction leaves us more disconnected. Instead of finding love, we find ourselves lost in a sea of temporary encounters. It's a false sense of freedom that ultimately chains us to loneliness. How many of you have felt that emptiness after a night of fun? Let's talk about vulnerability. Hookup culture thrives on the fear of getting hurt. We're scared to open up, scared to let someone in, and scared to be rejected. So, we put up walls and settle for fleeting connections. But guess what? Vulnerability is the key to true intimacy. It's how we build trust and emotional connection. When we hide behind our walls, we miss out on the chance to experience the depth of human connection. So, what's the alternative? How do we redefine freedom in dating? It starts with recognizing that true freedom isn't about avoiding commitment. It's about choosing meaningful connections over empty encounters. Instead of swiping left and right, consider investing your time and energy into people who align with your values. Seek out connections that challenge you, excite you, and allow you to be your authentic self. In the end, it's time to wake up from this fantasy of freedom. Hookup culture may seem appealing, but it's a mirage that leads to disconnection. If you want intimacy, you have to be willing to take risks, be vulnerable, and invest in meaningful relationships. So I challenge you. The next time you're tempted by the allure of a casual encounter, ask yourself, what do you really want? A moment of pleasure or a lifetime of connection? It's time to choose wisely. If this video made you think, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation. Let's continue exploring the truths of modern dating together.